Married at First Sight, Season 15, Episode 4. And this video is for Ben and Morgan. Finally, Married at First Sight. We get the wedding of Ben and Morgan. And I don't like the way they did this, y'all. First of all, we didn't see Ben and Morgan last episode because they didn't get married because of the COVID. And then they saved their wedding for the end of the whole episode. That should have been the top of the episode. Just because they're lagging behind the other couples doesn't mean they have to show it to us this way. They really should have shown their episode at the beginning of this episode as opposed to showing us all the other couples and then coming back to Ben and Morgan. I did not like the way they put together this episode at all. But anyway, let's get to the actual wedding. And you know what? I want to say that Morgan looked really, really beautiful at her wedding. Her makeup was beautiful on her. I really, really like. She's, normally I think she's she doesn't really wear much makeup and everything. She's not really frilly. And I think that she looked beautiful. I thought the wedding dress was pretty. And I thought her makeup was really, really nice. And can you believe that Ben has promised to take her on a second honeymoon to Thailand, Antarctica, whatever. And he said it's on him. He actually going to open up his wallet. He because the honeymoon was cut short, he ready to spend a little money. Shoot, okay, Ben, I'm here for it. I hope this means you're going to loosen up that wallet a little bit. But these two right here, this is another couple where I'm not for sure what they have in common besides the fact that they come from Asian descent. I don't see anything that these two have in common that will bind them together. Because let me tell you, this whole Muay Thai thing that Morgan likes to do, he ain't with that. Just because she likes to go to the gym and he likes to go to the gym, that ain't the same thing. I'm going to tell you right now, before I didn't think that Ben would be attracted to Morgan. And even though he sat up there on stage and said he thought that she was very pretty, I don't believe it. He may look at her and say she's pretty, but I don't think he's going to be attracted to her. I really don't. Because this whole Muay Thai aggressiveness and that I can throw you down on the ground that she was talking about, he didn't like that. He wasn't attracted to it. And this whole thing about that he's a mama's boy, and if his mama don't like you, it's going to be a problem, that he should have never been on Married at First Sight. If, in fact, this is so important to him, why would you marry a stranger? If your mother's approval was so important, this is the worst place that you could have come in. I don't even know why he signed up for this show if he's so into what his mother's opinion is. I don't know why he did this at all. But Morgan is still talking about this time that he before the wedding, she hopes that her mate is going to be someone that's where she is on her level, that fits into her life. Like I said, I don't think that Morgan is going to really be able to work with too many people because I think she is really, really rigid. And she's already she's not talking about how she's going to have to adjust to another person. She's talking about, I hope this man fits into her world and her life. That's what she's looking for. She's not looking to grow and adjust. She's looking for someone to fit into her life. And I still think that these two are going to have a hard time coming together because honestly, I don't see too much they have in common. I see that Ben is really outgoing when you look at his brothers, even as his friends. I mean, they seem like fun-loving people. Like they might like to go out to the club. They might like to have fun. And I don't get that vibe from Morgan. Not at all. The other thing with Morgan is I'm sensing a whole lot of pride coming from her. This whole thing about, I don't want nobody to be able to give me away walking down the aisle. That's too much. First of all, it's not all about some little giving you away. It's also about you having support as a bride, walking down the aisle in a wedding dress where you might slip and fall, okay? It's also about someone supporting you. And she figured that out when she was backstage and she was heaving and crying and having panic attacks. You know what? If you would have had somebody there with you, they would have been there to help you, calm you down, and hold your hand down the aisle. So I didn't like this part about Morgan where she was making it like it's some statement of not walking the person down the aisle. That's fine that your father couldn't walk you down the aisle and you don't have a good relationship with him. It doesn't mean that, you're a weaker woman because you have to have someone walk down the aisle. I can't stand when women do this, when women assign weakness to certain things. Just because I would want someone to support me doesn't make me weak, which means just because you do it by yourself doesn't necessarily make you strong. And then when she got down there at the end, she started saying, I want to walk myself down the aisle because I want to show you that I'm strong and independent. No, 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 no. Don't be trying to come up with a reason for it now and make it like it's some great thing. I really don't care what a woman does, whether she walks by herself or with a person, but I don't like the way that Morgan tried to put a spin on the story to make her look like she's some strong, independent woman. She leads with this strong, independent woman thing, and I really think it's going to be a turnoff to Ben. And honestly, I think it will be turned off to a lot of men. But Ben starts telling his mama, well, if you don't like anything about her, let me know and I'll try to fix it. Boy, you sound ridiculous. How are you going to fix a fully grown woman? Talking about if your mama don't like something about her, let me know and I'll try to fix it. He really should not have been on Married at First Sight. Not at all. Not at all. And Morgan, when she got down there, she's like, give me your hands, give me a hug, do this. I'm telling you, at this point in time, when I start to see these little things about women and it's directing people all the time, it really makes me uncomfortable because I don't like to be directed like that all the time myself. Give me my hand. No, you can say, hey, can I hold your hands? Or you can reach for my hand. You can do certain things, but I don't like when people give me commands. And that's what Morgan was doing. And even when they were saying their vows, and she was like, you didn't write your vows down? You didn't write your vows down? Oh my goodness, calm down, girl. No, he's like, no, I'm going to speak from my heart. And I think that's going to be the biggest problem with these two. I think that Ben is going to want to be a person that speaks from the heart, and Morgan is going to be really rigid. And I really believe that I don't see what they have in common. I really don't. I don't even see how these two are going to have fun together. I don't see it. And these vows, these friends telling people about each other, they need to cut this part out because these friends be ruining the marriages before they start. Calling her a lover and a fighter, and she can drop you with a kick and Muay Thai. That did not make Ben get excited. In fact, he was like, "Oh, this is a turnoff." And then when they were talking about Ben, and he was talking about, "I'll give you my credit card," and he's a mama's boy, and welcome to sharing Ben with the other woman in his life, his mother. That's a turnoff too. I don't care what Morgan said when she said it's okay. I don't believe it. She's on the after party too, y'all. Be sure to watch my video. And she talking about she didn't care about that he was a mama boy. Yes, you did. Don't no woman want to hear that now she got to compete with a mama for her new husband. No woman wants to hear that. Not at all. I just think Ben wants a more traditional wife, a little bit more of a soft wife. Even when they were popping the champagne, it was Morgan who was like, let me do it, let me do it. And she keeps talking about, yeah, I could drop kick you with Muay Thai. I can take you down. And she's not picking up the cues from Ben that he doesn't like this. And this idea that Ben thinks she's really attractive, I do not believe it. I think he's just saying what he needs to say. But at this point in time, I'm not believing that he's sexually attracted to Morgan. I don't believe it. And this idea that Morgan says, oh, do you like a woman with a tattoo? And Ben said, yeah, because I wanted to get a tattoo as well. But I was waiting to be financially independent. What does financially independent have to do with it, getting a tattoo? I don't believe it. Let me tell you, there are two worlds. There's the tattoo world and the non-tattoo world. And there's the sleeve world, and there are people where they get maybe 1 or 2 tattoos. These two come from 2 different worlds. I do not believe that Ben is a sleeve tattoo man. I think he just said that to make Morgan feel comfortable. I don't think he's attracted to it at all. I think he's more of a traditionalist, and I don't think that his preference would be a girl with a sleeve tattoo. I don't believe it, because if you're into tattoos, you would have one. You would have one. And if he wanted a sleeve, he would have already had at least another tattoo and said, I have this tattoo, but eventually I want to get a whole sleeve. But the fact that he didn't have any tattoo and he blaming it on trying to be financially independent, he lying. He just didn't want to hurt her feelings. I do not believe he's attracted to a Morgan. Not at all. And you know why I don't believe it? Because he was over there giving her high fives too. And let me tell you, just like Alexa said when Justin was giving her high fives, and she said, don't do that because it's corny. A man giving you high fives when they first meet you, I don't know. That's not what I get when they want to sleep with you and be with you. That means like you about to get put in the friend zone real quick. High fives are the friend zone. I wouldn't be surprised if Morgan gets put in the friend zone with Ben, but he doesn't tell her. He'll never tell her, but she gonna get put in the friend zone. I want to see how these two, if they end up having any sexual chemistry, because I didn't see anything coming off the screen when they met or afterwards. I really wish they would have gotten through more, at least gotten through the ready reception with them, because they're really lagging on them. And I don't like this idea that we're getting all these other couples and then we're having to go back to Morgan and Ben. They really should have sped through them sooner and get them to the honeymoon so we could all be back on the same page. So I don't know how many times we're going to be in Puerto Vallarta, then we're going to come back to the reception, and then we're going to be in Puerto Vallarta, then we got to come back to them having the dinners with the parents and meeting the parents. How long is this going to go on? I really hate the editing of this season. They really should have done something differently. Anyway, that's it, y'all. Please watch my videos on the other couples, and don't forget to watch my after party video as well. Talk to you later. Bye.